If we got a show for you. Lil Sean. Broccoli, celery, gotta be VeggieTales. Lima beans, collard greens, peachy keen, VeggieTales. Cauliflower, sweet and sour, half an hour, VeggieTales. VeggieTales, VeggieTales, it's time for VeggieTales. Throwback.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, hello.
Welcome to
Have we got a show for you?
I'm Michael Ruffino,
And I'm Liz Brody.
and we're doing more Larry Boy.
More Larry Boy.
Let's wrap this up. There's only four of
There's
them.
only one more, guys.
Uno mas. So now, I'm with you on the. It's like,
Getting tedious?
well, here's the thing. If I may, off of the very top, damn it with faint praise, it was really cute.
This was okay, so I'll let you know. I was dreading this. I was putting it off because I was like, I don't remember this one at all. We've got another one of these. I looked up to see who the writers and producers were, and it was like another one without Phil Vischer, another one without Mike Naraki. Oh no. And
What are we gonna do?
the king likes the 3D more than me and you.
More than Flash.
So I was like, So the first time I watched this was this morning.
Same.
And I was pleasantly surprised that this one didn't feel like 31 minutes. The other ones felt like 31 incredibly full minutes. This one was like, okay.
Yeah. The short was a little funnier.
Sure, it's all right.
The moral of this one was a lot more like apparent and recurring throughout the story.
I would disagree, but we can get into that.
I'll also straight out say did not make me laugh. Did not laugh at this one.
I think there was one moment that I laughed, and I don't think I was supposed to.
This is like a sub Fairly Odd Parents quality level.
Yeah. That's Fairly Odd Parents slander.
And for that, we need a hero.
He is that hero.
This is a podcast within a... Okay.
It's a podcast within a podcast where we talk about the animated adventures of Larry Boy.
I'll just play the music sting over the... It's we'll just,
the Flash animated.
I think I know now why they only made 4 of these.
Oh, I'm surprised they made it to 4. Woo,
Get 'em,
okay, let's go.
25 years removed. Get 'em, Liz.
Yeah, I'm gonna build a time machine and be like, hey, you could have all the time that you spent making these 4 episodes, you could have just made one good one.
Oh, they did. The angry eyebrows.
They did do that. Good for them. You can keep the angry eyebrows. All right.
The Yodel Napper.
The Yodel Napper. Here was what endeared me a little bit more to this episode. Here was what got me a little bit more on the team with this one, I guess, was talking to Kurt Heineke. Having that experience of getting a conversation with him, knowing his background, knowing like his deep, authentic love of German music and like his connection to it. That was where I was like, okay, I'm a little more on board with this. And I like did a little bit of digging, and I saw that he did the music for. He did not all of it. He did some of the music for this.
Oh, the music in these episodes has been fine. Has been great, even.
Yeah. I think it was more fun. The intro for this one was more fun. Maybe this was just the one on YouTube that I saw that had the intro music, because I don't think I saw it on the other ones.
Yeah, I really liked the theme song to the show.
Yeah, was this a different theme song for this one in particular? Because I felt like it was.
It was that kind of Christian rocky sounding.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is this like a band that I've heard before? And I was like, oh no, it's just like Kurt Heineke like popping off. Okay. And like, I love that. That was good. And then, like I said, the parts of this episode where I was like, you're almost losing me. I think if we hadn't interviewed Kurt and I hadn't been so like in the know of his personal like musical passions, I think this would have felt a little more like gimmicky and like, oh, Yodel and polka are just funny. Knowing that this is a man who truly does admire, you know, yodeling and polka. Like that felt a little more like personal. It was like, okay, this is cute. I think if I didn't have that context and I didn't know that, I'd be like, what is happening right now? Because I feel like there were a lot of like Jimmy Neutron did that a lot where they would like lean into polka music. And I think there were a few like episodes of SpongeBob where like polka and yodeling were like jokes.
Yeah.
And
they,
not
like, sound funny.
Yeah, because they like sound funny and like not taken as like a serious like art form. I'm team polka. So
We're pro polka.
we're pro
podcast.
polka. I recently like saw like it was like an Instagram reel, but somebody like did like a breakdown on like the connection between like polka music and like Mexican regional music, and I was like, oh, that's fascinating.
I could see that.
And as somebody who loves Mexican regional music, I was like, okay, that's got me turned around. Like I never really thought about polka, but you know, I'm a chef. I work in kitchens. I listen to a lot of Mexican regional music, and every single track that I hear, banger, every single one. So thank you, polka, for inspiring the
Mariachi?
no,
Not just
no.
specifically
These are different. So like you have like different so Mexico regional music, you have mariachi, and then you have, and like I might not be qualified to like actually talk about this, so if I'm like super wrong, my apologies. But you have like cumbia, you have like mariachis. These are all like very different styles from very different places. So like Mexican regional music is what you're gonna hear like more if you listen to like Mexican radio stations, and like our local Mexican radio station, Radio the Heifer, is going to be a lot of that like regional music. It tends to be like more from like the north of Mexico, if I'm correct. Again, I might be speaking about things I do not understand, but it's more, my understanding is it's almost these are like the indie musicians, but they're like super super popular. So it's like these are like your top 20 like radio hits of like what's indie. Almost. You have like your big like mainstream genres, you have like your pop music, you have everything. This is like indie country stars almost. So this is like if you are, you know, from like I think a lot of them are from like Chihuahua. Again, I might be totally misunderstanding how this like breakdown works, but like there's your like local bands might get represented on the radio if they like have enough like listenership. So these like regional artists draw a lot of inspiration from polka music, and you do have like almost like a cumbia beat under it. So you have that like and then like a lot of like accordion and a lot of like trumpet, a lot of like, you know, more of like your traditional polka hall. And if you take away that beat in the back, it sounds like polka music. And it's delightful. And if anyone is looking for some new music to listen to and trying to get into some world music,
Steal one of the polka stars.
Yeah, steal
one of the
a polka star. So
steal one of the Mexican musicians.
No, don't do that. Don't human
do that.
traffic.
Don't do that.
Which I think was really the moral of this episode.
Yeah.
Don't
Steal people.
Don't partake in trafficking.
Okay. One thing that, upon further reflection, I do kind of like is framing the supervillain as like the rich kid.
Oh yeah.
Who gets whatever they want.
Yeah.
But in this case, you know, being a giant German zucchini woman with a Valkyrie helmet and laser arms.
Yeah. Why do the villains always have arms?
Can't be trusted. They're armed and dangerous.
Oh, that was what kind of made me, that was the one where I was like, that's a little funny. That's a little bit funny at the very beginning.
The theme song sequence is considered armless and
dangerous. Yeah, I was like, all right, you can have that.
I do. I like the theme song. What the world needs now is a hero.
Yeah. I was at least I was like, oh my god, at Five Iron Frenzy would do a fire cover of this.
Yeah. There actually is a very solid, shout out YouTube. There's a very solid cover of the song out on YouTube.
Good.
The VeggieTales fan community. We'll have them on.
Oh yeah.
We'll have them on.
All right. So this episode is produced by Larry Whitaker. Directed by Larry Whitaker. Produced by Jason Van Boorsen. Greg, that is a name I am not going to attempt. And it was written by Kent Redeker, Bob Miller, and Larry Whitaker. So we have, again, an episode without a Vischer or a Naraki.
And with 3 writers.
I always think of, speaking of Flash animation, I grew up on Homestar Runner. That was the only thing that was ever on in my house, on my computer. And there is an episode of Strong Bad Email where Strong Bad reads the email and it's signed by 3 people, and at the end of it he goes, "Oh, it took all 3 of you to write that email. Those are some intelligent boys." And then it cuts to the little like blurb every time we're like, "Oh, it took 3 of you to write that." And I think of Strong Bad being like, "Oh, it took all 3 of you to write that."
Yeah.
This watching these also, I'm like, oh, I wish I was watching some Homestar Runner right now.
I will. What I can praise it for is the designs.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a 2D or taking a 3D character and putting them in 2D, I feel always looks better than a 2D character into 3D.
Like when they did the Jimmy Neutron,
That's what I was
Fairly
thinking
Odd
of.
Parents crossover episode.
Toy Story merch,
Mm-hmm.
where they have kind of cartoon versions of hand drawn looking versions of Buzz and Woody, but 3D Homer, 3D Bart,
Terrifying.
or even Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, 3D Jimmy or Timmy Turner.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works. 3D Mickey, it's all right,
Sure.
I guess. 3D Mickey Mouse.
I think people are used to seeing a 3D Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Because
I think how familiar you are with it in the 3D world.
3D.
Because everyone knows he's a real.
He's real.
He's real.
Mickey Mouse is real. But like 3D Looney Tunes, mixed.
Mm-hmm. Just do a Roger Rabbit with it.
Yeah. Did you hear that the creator of Roger Rabbit got the rights to the character back?
Yeah.
What's
excited.
What's he gonna do? I'm like, what would you do if you own the rights to Roger Rabbit and nothing else?
Resurrect David Lynch.
It's a rabbit. It's a rabbit that's considered a murderer, Coop.
He talks.
We have to clear the talking rabbit's name.
David Lynch's Toontown would be incredible. All right. So we got it's a lovely day in Bumbleberg.
Isn't it always?
It seems to be.
Until
Larry says something stupid and upsets another superhero who has to summon a storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a lovely day in Bumbleberg, and Larry is outside of the toy store because he's excited about his new Hula Heidi toy, which is, I guess, a commentary on Beanie Babies. It just seems really late on Beanie Babies. It's like a Beanie Baby Pokemon, like
Labubu.
I wrote Labubu too because like it follows in the same vein. But if we're talking, this episode was written in what, 2002?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was released in 2002. So like, what was going on with Beanie Babies in 2002?
I just love Pokemon.
Goose, my guy. The sounds you're hearing in the background are the sounds of an 80-pound German Shepherd chomping down on a very disgusting rubber ball. My apologies.
This was still like Prime Pokemon era.
Which we were not allowed to have because my mother was like so anti-capitalist. So like, which was why we were like not really supposed to have, like we didn't really watch a lot of Disney. And she was like, I think I'm the only kid whose parents didn't let them have Pokemon stuff, not because of like Satan, but because like capitalism is Satan. So.
And to contrast this to the toy that saved Christmas,
Right.
which has Phil Vischer's voice and his insights about consumerism.
Right.
And this just feels like even more base and more simple than that.
I think because we did watch The Toy That Saved Christmas, and I think I was hearkening back because I was like, I feel like VeggieTales proper did this better.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get what they're doing. And I was reading through some of the YouTube comments on the version that I found to watch. And a lot of people in the comments, because I was like, going back and forth, I was like, this isn't really about consumerism. Like, at the end of the day, like, I don't see the consequences of it. Just like with all of these other episodes, other than Angry Eyebrows, where it's like, the consequences are mismatched. Like, it seems like maybe it's having 3 writers, maybe the plot got lost and the consequences got lost for me. And I was like, I don't see the consumerism part coming to play.
It's like the Toy That Saved Christmas is about, Christmas is not about getting gifts. It's about giving. Mm-hmm. And it's about celebrating the birth of Jesus by being kind to each other and giving gifts. And this one is about don't be greedy.
But they've put it in the framing of like, especially in the class where they're talking about
well, it's consumerism and also like collecting as a play pattern.
Like I said, it was just weird. It was like a little bit off, and I get that like there's the kidnapping, which like seemed like a very different issue. Like, if you were to do materialism, humans aren't the material, like,
yeah.
And I guess if you were going to do like something about capitalism, like, she's just pouring pudding on their heads. She's not like making them like do demeaning tasks for like little to no wages, which would be more.
Well, it's almost like greed. Don't be greedy if you're a collector.
Like I said, the messaging was like, I lost me a couple of times. And again, it was one of those things was like, okay, people like the yodeling, but like material goods and art are different things. And it was like conflating the art of these yodelers with material, but that
it was the art of the yodel. And Lemon Twist mentions money.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when they're back in the class, they talk about money and your income and all these other things. Where it's like, okay, yeah, that's great, but like, we don't really get. So like, Greta Von Gruesome has Von in her name, so we presume that she's some sort of like German nobility. Not all the nobles necessarily had a lot of money, so like, that doesn't really,
especially after World War One.
Yeah, like, that doesn't really track too much, and like. What's her...
Especially after World War One.
I appreciate the joke, Michael. I appreciate it. You know I'm a World War One head, and I'm going to go on a tangent, so we have to leave it where it's at. Or this episode's going to be 3 hours long, and I don't have that right now.
Well, you see if she's a...
I don't want to talk about Kaiser Wilhelm right now, okay? I don't want to do it.
If she's a German zucchini, you know what happens when those Italians and Germans get together. Nothing good. Nothing good.
What color shirt is she wearing? They went with gray. That was a good choice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Yodel.
Oh my God, this is a mess. Okay.
This is what happens when the guest cancels.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe Greta just believes in socialism, but only for certain vegetables. Okay.
Socialism for the, not for the Larry boy. Zap.
Okay. So, well, that was why I was so concerned about the pudding. I'm reeling it in. I'm reeling it in. Okay. No, like, okay. Let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. A very good place to start. Because now we're in, I guess, is Austria part of Zucchini at this point? I don't know. All right. We have Larry and Archie in line. Archie is sitting there and he's like, Master Larry, don't you have enough hula
Aren't you a
toys?
literal billionaire?
Like, also, like, the whole plot line of Larry being, like, a billion... He's got so many, like, gadgets and stuff, but is, like, got a thing for collecting. I don't know. Let the man
he's
collect.
waiting in
I don't
line.
care. Why didn't he pre-order? I don't know. I'm confused. But he needs to get his hula toy. The hula toy was also very like early 2000s, like random humor. Whatever. So
Well, it was Hula Heidi to complete the collection that has like Hula Harry and Hula.
Yeah, like whatever. That's fine. And he like can't wait. He goes in the toy store, and then
we are
Clayface
20
shows
minutes
up.
into this episode, and Liz is done.
I'm whatever. I'm like over it. Let's talk about Clayface showing up.
Yes, a chemistry set accident spawns a chemistry set accident in the Black Friday style torrent of people trying to get Hula Heidi. A chemistry set spills and converges and creates Clayface?
Yeah, it creates Clayface.
Clayface.
Yeah. Yeah.
DC Studios' upcoming movie Clayface.
Not voiced by Alan Tudyk. But so he shows up and he like wreaks havoc because that's what happens in Bumbleberg. And Larry defeats him in a very like Frankenstein's creature way with the soothing sounds of music and puts him to sleep, but he doesn't like actually solve the problem. He just leaves him at the toy store.
Well, first of all, I love how he dives into a pile of toys and emerges in the Larry Boy costume.
Okay, I did like that. That was cute.
And then just he makes the saxophone make music by nudging it with his plunger ears.
Yeah. You didn't have like a toy instrument as a kid that like made the music for
Oh, I
you?
thought it was an actual saxophone. I didn't know this was like a Jack Black saxoboom situation.
Why would they sell a real saxophone at this toy store?
I mean, you got me there.
Okay.
Liz, you win. We can go home now.
Checkmate.
Checkmate, Rufino.
That's all I ever wanted.
Any win is a win. All right. So yes, he does accidentally knock over a saxophone that makes music that soothes the clay glob monster. And saves the day.
Yep. And then I wrote, "What is that voice, Larry?" I don't know what that's in reference to, but I think he makes a weird voice at this point in the episode, and that's cool. You remember that? I don't.
I don't remember.
All right. I could have been more detailed, but that's fine. So then he goes and like wallers in the mud.
Yeah, because he saved everybody from the glob monster. Somebody came and bought all of the Hula Heidis.
And he's a billionaire. Like literally just like pre-order it. It's 2002. Like Amazon exists at this point, right?
I think I was just doing books though still.
Okay. I was going to say like just support your local billionaire, Larry.
You are the local billionaire.
Yeah, Larry, instead of like spending all your money on Hula Heidis, just like buy the factory. What are you doing? Anyway.
He's wallowing in the mud and the sadness.
Which I thought that was a little funny. It was so weird. I was like, why is this happening? Like when he started wallowing in the mud, I had to like go back and be like, what is he doing?
What show is this again?
Why is he sad in the mud? Was it too hard to animate the inside of the house? Like what is he doing? Like he's so sad.
I guess they just didn't want to, they had a model they had a design sheet for the backyard because of the fly short.
Did the clay monster want to like make him want to get in mud? Like what was going on with that? And then there was like the pudding theme. Like what is happening?
Okay, this is getting cut. But it reminds me of like this is 100% getting cut. So just enjoy this, Liz, you and I right now. There are people that theorize that certain animators put their fetishes into their shows.
Well, yeah, of course they do.
Totally Spies, famously. There was an animator who worked on Fairly Odd Parents that loved big muscle men.
Yeah.
And so Jorgen von Strangle and all of the huge muscle fights with big muscly, Timmy getting huge muscles to where he can't, or Jorgen getting huge muscles to where he can't touch his face.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff
Yeah.
getting in there.
No, and honestly, that was what I mean. I don't think we have to cut that, honestly, but like that was honestly like kind of what I went to, like when all of the like mud and the clay and the pudding, and I was like, what is happening here? Because like this is specific, and like I don't like, and it's true, like not all fetish content is pornographic, so like there's a difference, and it like by the time we like had our like next pudding. Like there was gratuitous pudding.
So much pudding. They're putting pudding. They're putting pudding everywhere.
And I was like, it was like reminiscent of like the Nickelodeon like slime.
Yeah.
Which I felt was like more fun because like kids love slime. I loved slime, and like to a degree, I loved mud as a kid. But like, I don't think they were like trying to appeal to the children. I was like, no, this is like something specific to like an animator. This is like a recurring theme in this episode, and it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird. It's a little off. I'm like maybe it's some like bigger, like
having a large German woman cover you in viscous fluid.
Yeah.
That's getting cut. Or not.
Or not. I mean, there's something to it. Like
nobody's listening to this one. They're waiting around until Joseph.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. But no, like I said, there's something to it. It was like this is a little on the nose. I don't know. Especially since she is like kidnapping these like male vegetables.
Okay, yeah. So further, yeah. Okay, after this scene,
Okay.
Larry cleans up to go to the yodeling convention, the Yodel festival.
It's just a concert, right?
I thought it was like a full festival.
Oh, okay.
A festival of yodelers.
Oh.
I like Larry and
A
his
yodel fist.
I like Larry in his little tuxedo.
Yeah, I love Larry in a tuxedo.
That's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
But during the performance on stage, one of the yodelers is Yodel napped.
Yeah. Oh, and before that, we get Mayor Fleming. Where did Madame Blueberry go? Could they not show Madame Blueberry because they were like, oh, her episode was also about materialism, but better done?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Madame Blueberry got term limited, but then the city council passed a resolution to reinstate her as mayor by the time of the Bad Apple.
Okay.
I think if anything, that just shows these are two different continuities.
Got it. Okay, we're in the Larry Boy multiverse.
Yeah.
Goose really liked that. He was really excited.
So the Yodel nap, the Yodel Napper napped a yodel.
Greta just like busts a hole through the ceiling of this like concert hall and then like uses a suction tube like at a bank to suck up the yodeler and then put him in another tube at her compound, at her like lair.
Yeah, you gotta have a lair. If you're a supervillain, you gotta source a lair.
Her lair was definitely like not as cool as Awful Albans, who is still the goat of the Larry Boy animated villains.
They name drop Awful Alvin because they don't know who the Yodel Napper is.
They did. When they did name drop them and they said Lampy was in jail, I was like, free Lampy. Like, what did Lampy do?
They mentioned this isn't one of our normal supervillains like Awful Alvin, the Alchemist, and Lampy.
And who they specifically say is like behind bars. And I was like,
Lampy knows what Lampy did.
Free Lampy. Free Lampy.
Lampy was the mastermind behind the whole thing.
Yeah. So after this, Larry just goes to work, like whatever.
Yeah, and it is okay. It was funny. It did not make me laugh, but holding the mop in people's faces.
I like that he has to bring his own mop to work. I understand that it's like a special mop, but like just keep it at the office. Like be conspicuous. Like janitors don't keep. It's not like you have a knife roll for like your cleaning supplies.
Like Stanley Spadowski in UHF with his mop.
Yeah, it was like maybe you have like a little like kit of like your personal cleaning tools, Larry. But like I've worked at a lot of schools. I've worked at a lot of places with cleaning crews. I've never seen one just carry a mop in, but okay.
Like Michael Richards in UHF. It's like, this is my mop.
Yeah. Like,
my mop.
Your mop. Your special mop. Like, but nothing else because he never does any other cleaning other than mopping.
He just mops that carpet.
Yeah. And sometimes Bob's face.
Yeah.
To which Bob said, don't ever mop my face again without my permission.
Because there might come a time.
Because you never know. You never know. Bob's a freak. All right.
This is also the first time that we get a sense of Larry being attracted to the Lois Lane cucumber.
And I said I don't love Larry having a crush on anyone other than Barbara Manatee, to be honest.
Larry's kind of in a SpongeBob realm of asexuality. You don't really want.
I was like, he's allowed to have like a weird crush on Barbara Manatee. And like anything else, all of his affection previously has been towards like inanimate objects. Like, you know, like I don't know. When she like bent over, I was like, what is this? Is not the time or place for this. Where she's like, that is one cucumber. I was like, Larry,
Not in the workplace.
Larry, no sir.
There
No,
are
sir.
there are yodelers disappearing by the singles.
Yeah, and like we're taking time to have a crush on Veronica or whatever her name is. Like, what is this? It was, I don't know. It was like 2 seconds of the episode, and I was like, It was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird.
And he doesn't seem to learn anything from the reporters, right? About the
thing about the last couple of Larry Boyd episodes is that
okay.
Larry Boyd learns nothing.
He learns to not be ego person. He learns the lesson of the episode. He may or may not like solve the crime.
How does he learn the lesson?
In this one,
Mm-hmm.
he learns what it's like to be coveted, I guess, to be stolen.
Okay, but what is the lesson we're supposed to learn?
Don't be solely interested in material things.
Okay, so is he objectifying himself? The lesson he learns is that it's not fun to get kidnapped.
It's true. It's not.
And then his reward at the end is he gets like a tribute song in his name from all of these yodelers, which
Well, they sing the Larry Boy theme song to him.
which is like great. Okay, but like he's still
I guess like the value is not
And
from material.
the only
things, but
reason
from relation. Here, okay, all
Okay,
right. I think I've got it, Liz. I think
Okay.
I've got it. His interest in Hula Heidi,
yeah.
yes, would have blinded him and made him miss out on him helping out his community,
Okay.
i.e., fighting the clay monster, or saving the yodelers.
Okay. In this realm, though, in this world, if he had already gotten his Hula Heidi, would he have still been in the store to save them from Clayface? Because I think this Larry would have gotten his Hula Heidi and ditched.
Well, see, he also it's against greed because he just wanted the one Hula Heidi, and Greta Von Gruesome got all of the Hula Heidis for herself.
And then they attacked him, and in that attack, and he had to destroy them because they were attacking him, he learned that it's not fun to get attacked by like an army of like living like
Small dolls.
mechanized dolls. Okay, he like became afraid of them. That is not the same. Nothing changes Greta in particular to like, okay, so listen, in Madame Blueberry, right, all of the things that
This is not better than Madame Blueberry.
Madame Blueberry's house gets destroyed because of her greed, right? That is a change. Her life is altered. She is fundamentally changed by her greed. And she realizes that that is not the way to go. And then she sees that family and she's like, I want a happy heart.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. This is not better written than
No,
Madame
and I'm not
Blueberry.
saying that. I'm just using it as a comparison point within like the franchise, right? So that is an example of the same message where there is like an actual character change, right? That's like a pivotal moment, and you get real character growth, and there's consequences. Larry doesn't encounter any of that. The consequence, not even to his actions, he still doesn't have Hula Heidi. He still doesn't get Hula Heidi, right? It would be more interesting if maybe he had gotten a Hula Heidi who like joins that army or something. But he just
So
like,
he was betrayed by his own Hula Heidi.
yeah, if he was like betrayed by his Hula Heidi, right? Like he never gets that moment of like, oh, I think maybe what I wanted was wrong. Or maybe, and like, again, the great thing about like VeggieTales and like the writing in it is that like moderation is such like an important thing to it. So it's not even that like, oh, I want a Hula Heidi and that's wrong, right? Like you can do whatever you want as long as nobody's getting hurt, right? When he does get hurt, it's not by like anything. It's not his collection, it's her collection. But like
I think it was like greed. It's like, don't let your want of material things cloud yourself to miss out on the things that your neighbor needs. I feel like that's the moral.
Right, which again, Madame Blueberry like absolutely covers because
And
like you've
covers
got
better.
that family that like doesn't have anything, and like Madame Blueberry is able to like share with them. And with this, it's like okay, he gets attacked by this like little toy army, which I guess is like, which again, the Toy Who Saved Christmas does better. And
I feel like you're not familiar with the with Bible Man yet, are you?
I'm not. No.
There's another Christian superhero. There are more than one. Beyond just Daredevil.
Isn't Jesus the only one we need?
Right. Well, Bible Man's catchphrase is that Jesus is the real superhero. So they thought of that. They thought of that.
I could be such a good like Christian superhero like grifter. I could totally make one. I got this. Give me 20 minutes. Hold on.
But in the formula for a Bible Man episode is that there's usually it's uniquely Protestant in that all of the bad vices or bad feelings are caused by an external villain with a name like Dr. Fear or the Prince of Pride or El Furioso that is causing a kid usually to be scared or miserable or angry. And Bible Man fights throughout the course of the story. He fights the villain that's usually the same guy in a costume with a lightsaber. Okay. And then, but before going off to fight the actual villain with an actual lightsaber, he has like a quick conference with the kid of the week to like counsel them into managing fear or, you know, not to be too prideful. He like has a Full House style conversation in the Bible Man costume, sitting down like at a church or somewhere with a kid to be like, you know, Romans 12:21 says not to let evil defeat you, but defeat evil by doing good. You know, he quotes Bible verses and like counsels them. And then once they're like, gee, Mr. Wizard, I never thought of it that way. Or gee, Bible Man, thank you, I feel better. He's like, oh, I'm glad I was able to encourage you. Now, where's my lightsaber? And I am favorably comparing Bible Man to the Larry Boy Cartoon Adventures because it's a lot more straightforward.
Okay. Here's a thought I just had. We're also talking in this episode about in his class with Bok Choy.
Yes.
Where he talks about money. Larry Boy's a billionaire playboy. And at the end, he never considers the fact that, like, hey, I've got way more wealth than, like, maybe these yodelers or, like, maybe some of the, like, you know, what's the financial situation of some of my, some of the villains? Like, what's going on there? There's no, like, internal reflection. We're talking about capital, the evils of capitalism, but we've got this, like...
I thought we agreed that Larry had inherited money.
Okay. He never sits there and he's like, hey, I've got a lot of money. What does that mean about me? There's no like self-reflection. There's no self-awareness. Larry Boy's just like, oh, I'm so charming and like fun and like a little ditzy. And Greta's the villain. So we're like misplacing again with like Madame Blueberry, like her wealth becomes like or like seeming wealth, or like what she does have becomes a central plot point. It is something that she has to contemplate and think about and like reconsider about what it actually means for her. And Larry, the idea that like he has a mansion and a private jet never comes up in this.
What you say reminds me of a great video Steve Shives put out. Shout out Steve Shives about Batman and how Bruce Wayne being a billionaire kind of breaks the character.
Yeah.
Said Bruce Wayne can be a millionaire. Bruce Wayne can even perhaps be a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
But a billionaire, that's too much money.
It's too much money. And Larry...
You get to like Batman owning satellites and, you know, space stations on the moon.
Right. And like, I feel like there was... VeggieTales has done this and it's done it better. So like they had the tools in their tool belt, in their like little utility belt, and all that's in Larry's utility belt are mousetraps. And I feel trapped by I am the mouse trapped in the mouse trap of what this episode is supposed to even be getting at.
You roll your dice, you move your mice. Nobody gets hurt. No, I will. This really does feel like former Disney animators and Disney afternoon writers and former Nickelodeon people trying to recreate VeggieTales from having heard like
like I
just
said,
like trying to recreate VeggieTales.
Yeah, like I keep saying, it feels like a LARP of VeggieTales. Like I said, this one was a little more charming than the last one. But it's still, like, while watching it, I was still just like, what are we doing? What am I watching this for? Like, the community college, like, superhero class, like, one wasn't that funny. Like, I feel like they handled bok choy a little more respectfully in this one, which is great. I'm so glad somebody like was like, hey, maybe don't do cartoon yellow face. Let's go back to what we were doing before. I looked up the voice actor, by the way.
I don't think I want to know.
Oh no, you do.
Oh no.
You do. Are you ready? Mark Otis Growy is an American voice actor and demo producer who is known for voicing Mr. Zircon from Ratchet and Clank, Mario, Luigi, and Bowser from Hotel Mario, Bok Choy from Larry Boy, The Cartoon Adventures, and a pirate in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Wait, no, go back. He was on Hotel Mario?
Mm-hmm.
I hope she make lots of spaghetti.
And...
Yes!
And he voiced most of the orcs in World of Warcraft.
No, I'm sorry. Hotel Mario. Luigi. Spaghetti.
He also plays
Luigi.
He's also in most of the Final Fantasy games.
I hope she made lots of spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Okay, so that's who voices Bok Choy, but Bok Choy is just sad that his favorite yodeler got napped, and like whatever.
He's bereft.
And like part of me, okay, here's the other thing, like is that supposed to be, they're conflating art with material goods, and they're very different things, right? Like there's a difference between like, okay, one time my car got totaled in a snowstorm, right? Mm-hmm. And the only thing, I didn't like that car. The thing that upset me the most when that car crashed, I had like I had an Elvis Costello CD in the
I don't know if you told
player.
the story on the podcast, but yes, I remember you telling me.
Okay, so and like it was my mother, it was hers. She got it like, I think when it came out like 91, whatever, right? So it was like, it wasn't like worth anything, right? But it was like,
it was sentimental.
It was sentimental, and like I love Elvis Costello, right? So like I was upset that, and this was like what, 2014, so like CDs were still in cars.
Yeah.
But like I was like, I'm not going to be able to get that CD out of the player, and it was like my favorite. I loved that CD so much, you know. It was like whatever, and like yeah, and like it was so funny when the people who, because it was like a really bad snowstorm, so like the cops weren't even gonna try and come out to the scene, and like one of my neighbors found me and gave me a ride, and they were like, are you okay, like what's up with the car? And I was like, I don't care about the car, but my Elvis Costello CD, right? And I was like very much like giving Bok Choy, but at the same time I was like, he's not even sad that an album got destroyed, he's sad that the artist is gone. The artist is gone. And I was like, yeah, if Elvis Costello went missing, I'd be so beside myself, right? Like,
well, you've had a teacher have a breakdown in the middle of class before. You don't know what to do there.
I mean, I had a teacher who had to leave because her dog ate all of her Dave Chappelle CDs or DVDs, and I was like, you know what? Sure, yeah. You can leave. She was like watching her like little like nanny cam thing that she had on her dog, and she was like, my dog's home alone, got out of his kennel, and he just like ate all of my Chappelle Show DVDs. I've got to leave. We were all like, you get out of here, girl. You gotta do what you gotta do. But like that's fair. Like we'll take it from here. I wrote down like, are the works of an artist really materialism? Because like at the end of the day, like I mean, I guess it depends, but like I don't think so, especially like when it's music. Like even if you like you like what you like.
Well, let's
but like,
go, because when you're teaching it to kids, I remember that they bring this up later on with a different episode. But with kids, they tend to go frame certain things in a way that kids would understand.
Right.
Kids, don't really have a concept of being greedy about money yet, if they're really young.
right.
So they tend to go like the overindulgence round about having too many things, having the gimmies, as the Berenstein Bears used to say.
Right. But again, even like from a child's eye, because like I said earlier, like when I was looking through the YouTube comments and people were like, oh, this like really taught me the lesson of like not falling for materialism as a child. It was like, but how? Like, I don't understand, because like I didn't watch this one as a child, but I'm like thinking about myself as a child. And like, again, my mother was very, 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 for all of, I will say, like, of all of the things that like the lessons I did learn from my mother, for better or worse, she was very anti-materialism. She was very like, capitalism's out to kill us all. And like that was definitely impactful on me. So I think like I got this lesson in a very different way. And I think like Madame Blueberry definitely had a huge role to play in that. But like I was trying to watch this through like a child's lens. So it was like, if I'm a child, what does this mean? And I was like trying to think of other examples from other kids shows and being like, okay, what are some other things that I watched that like did preach anti-materialism? And I was like, those would have, if I'm watching this as a kid, like I think I'm also going to be like a little bit confused, because like,
I mean, it really is like the Animaniacs wheel of morality, turn, like when the government would make Saturday morning cartoon writers wedge a moral in there.
Right.
And it didn't come naturally from wanting to share the moral first and use the story as an illustration. It came from, let's think of a wacky superhero cartoon and then wedge a moral in at the end.
It was also like, okay, so something, I think one of the reasons too that like the bok choy being like upset thing hit me so hard, right? Was like, okay, I remember when one of my friends, like, okay, so when I was a kid, my mother like hated Britney Spears, like could not stand her, would like actively like go out of her way to like let me know that like she was not a good artist to listen to. And again, it wasn't like, I know a lot of people were like, oh, I wasn't allowed to listen to her because she was like sexualized or like wasn't like moral, whatever. She was just like, no, this is like, she was like on Disney and this is all just like for profit and all this stuff. And I remember like listening to some like Britney Spears songs at like friends' houses and stuff, being like, what is actually wrong with this? Like, I don't really understand. I was like, I think even as a child, I could understand like, oh, it's very sexualized. Like, I understand that in my like child's understanding of it. But like, I don't think that's the problem, because like we listened to a lot of other pop stars that were like, sexy, whatever. So I was like, I don't really understand what's wrong with this. And like my mother had eventually like kind of turned around on Britney Spears and was like, oh, there's nothing actually like wrong with her and all this. She just didn't like really like her in the moment, because she thought that she was just like
imperialist tool
out for profit, Yeah. And like there is a degree to that. Like, of course, this is a woman who was like extremely exploited, but like that wasn't for her. It's not like she was like,
she didn't see any of that profit, yeah.
But also, like, my mother was like Gen X, so like that like whole idea of like being a sellout was like very poignant, like very like constantly like in the forefront of her mind when it came to like what we listened to. So like the idea of being a sellout was like so. I think a lot of like millennials who were raised by boomers didn't necessarily have that like sellout mentality as forefront.
Gen Z has no concept of selling out.
Right.
They aspire to sell out.
Good for them. But just kidding. But yeah, I like as a kid just being like, I don't understand like what's wrong with like certain artists. And like I think even then, because I wasn't a kid who wanted like merch, right? Because I was raised not to, but like I didn't want, like I loved Avril Lavigne so much, but like I didn't have any posters. I didn't have, like I didn't have any of that. I didn't really want it. So when I was like, what do you mean she's a sellout? Like I like the music. I have the CD, but I'm not like, I'm not like spending all my allowance money on anything that has to do with her. And I get that some kids do that, but that's also a separate, I mean, I don't know how to like necessarily like teach that to a child. I'm not.
Well, and like VeggieTales also very much was selling merch.
Right.
They sold toys of Larry Boy. They had a Larry Boy,
and again with them, it's all about the balance. So just this idea, I think that's why I keep going back to this like conflation, and maybe I'm overthinking it as I usually am, but like maybe this idea
That's what this podcast is about.
right, the bully reunion, but like as they're conflating this like longing, like this like worry and this concern of bok choi's for this artist with like, oh, you're being consumed by material goods, and it's like that I don't see that. And it's weird and it feels misplaced. And again, the fact that they're talking about finances and money, and then we're dealing with human trafficking, like
man theft,
yodel napping. Like, this is a bigger issue. And if like maybe she's like holding these yodelers for ransom to buy all of these Heidi toys.
No, she just wants
like,
them. She just is collecting people.
I was like, maybe we can talk about like, I don't know, weapons trading and like human collateral, but like that's a bigger idea for big idea than
It's too
I
big
think
of an
they wanted
idea.
to go into. But like,
Well, here we got to finish just the storyline.
okay,
Larry Boy poses as a yodeler to be kidnapped by the Yodel Napper.
Noodle Blubberbock,
Oh, okay.
whatever. I don't care.
What do the Germans do to you? 3 writers of
Oh, I thought you were asking me.
no. We know. We know.
Okay.
Russian and Jewish, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Larry is stolen. He's stolen.
He's yodel napped.
He's yodel napped. That's where we meet Greta Von Gruesome, the Yodel Napper,
Yep.
with her laser arms and her Valkyrie helmet and her German accent and her Zucchini Land fortune. She is from Zucchini Land.
She's from Zulkinia.
Zucchini.
Zulkinia.
Zucchini.
A tiny country north of the Bumbly Mountains.
So good, landlocked.
I like that this is all happening just kind of like in a small little, it's very Revachol, where it's all just kind of like right there.
Yeah. And, I don't remember how Larry
Are you
wins.
upset that I put another Disco Elysium reference into this?
It's fine.
Okay. Are you going to edit that one out too?
That stays in.
I've got a personal tab on how many of my Disco Elysium references you've cut out.
Oh, no. Well. I don't remember how it ends. I don't remember how Larry Boy wins. Does he just break the tube?
I don't remember either.
Oh no! Now we can't end the podcast. We have to stay here forever.
Hold on, I took notes. Hold on. I have the transcript. Hold on.
He.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Okay, all right, we're back.
He has this toy sheep,
No, that's right. That's right.
and the toy sheep like unsheathes his neck and like breaks the tube, and then there is a lever to release the yodelers that's labeled lever to release yodelers. So he releases the yodelers, and then they get like sucked into the floor, and then all of the hula Heidis attack, and then he like plays them music like he learned from Clayface, and then they like dance together and explode. And then I genuinely I think I was so shocked that I literally wrote, "This was fine, I guess."
I forgot that Archibald gave him a James Bond style sheep toy. He's like the James Bond briefcase full of gadgets, but it's a sheep.
I just was like, what? I wrote, okay, here are my notes. Okay, because I did the one part that I did laugh at. The one part that made me actually laugh was when somebody throws Bob on stage and he goes, "I don't care how bad they are. We don't throw tomatoes in this
That's
town."
right, yes,
that
I like
was the
that.
part I was like, that was good. That was really funny. Okay, so he gets, do not throw. This all happens so fast. So my notes.
Like freight the shorthand.
Okay. All right. What are they? I can't even read what that says, so ignore that part. Okay. We do not throw tomatoes in this town. What kind of bad person would steal a sheep? Lever to release yodelers.
Huh.
The idea of the wealth of yodelers.
The relative wealth.
You're wearing your plungers too tight. Is this a Beanie Baby Labubu commentary? It can't be Labubu. JK. This was fine, I guess. It felt kind of tired. The end?
Yeah.
So that's what I got.
The end.
And then he gets like a tribute to Larry Boy concert, which I don't know. Again, if we're talking materialism,
It's a tribute, I guess. A thank you.
I don't know. It was weird. Larry, maybe like donate to the yodeling festival.
Well,
Support local artists.
I think he's probably fronting all of the cash because he seemed very excited for it. So he might be putting on the Yodel Festival for all we know. I mean, that's how he was able to get Larry Boy on there so easily. 'Cause he's a
Here
big
is
donor.
what the big idea wiki says.
Here's the big idea.
Here's the recap. Okay. With the help of Archie, Larry Boy sneaks into the castle under the disguise of a yodeler. There, he releases the trapped yodelers, but the group falls into a pit and are attacked by an army of Hula Heidi dolls. After defeating the dolls with the help of the yodeler Einer, Larry Boy apprehends Greta Von Gruesome, and she is arrested for her villainous actions. The 5 rescue yodelers then put on a tribute to Larry Boy concert, yodeling the Larry Boy theme song. The end.
Pretty succinct.
What was it even about? Like,
Greed.
how?
Don't
How?
be greedy.
I'm so confused. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
I mean, this really was like a Fairly Odd Parents episode with a hastily thrown in.
This one was so weird. This was so weird. And missed every point.
There's not been yet a dud VeggieTales episode, but the Larry Boy one's not a good track record.
They don't even count.
They really don't count. Why do we do this? Why do we do this to ourselves?
Why do we do this to ourselves? Because we dedicated to all 3 of our listeners that we are going to do every single episode.
And we decided that Angry Eyebrows counts, and so if Angry Eyebrows counts, they all
The rest
count.
of these count. We watched them for you, folks. Yeah, so the quote from Bok Choy that's at the top of the big idea
It was
found a wiki.
Ecclesiastes, right? That was the Bible verse.
Yeah, whoever loves money never has money enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with his income.
It's true.
Which is great. I'm glad that was included in the episode. What does that have to do with anything else that happened in this episode? I'm glad they said it. What does it have to do with anything that happened in this?
Making Larry a billionaire really doesn't work here.
None of this worked. It all missed. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
0.5 out of 10 for the we don't throw tomatoes in this town.
You're rating it that low. You're like,
I was
No.
okay as me being me. Okay, little lefty me.
all right.
Okay. This okay.
Can somebody draw Larry in the 2D style, but with Karl Marx's beard, and send that to us?
No, because this was yes, please. I just like I maybe because I'm like I just like because the world is the way that the world is, right? But like the consumerism of 2002, right, which is like where I grew up, what I remember.
The Bush era.
The Bush era, and I remember it well, fondly, and with some grievances, was it felt less intensive maybe than it does in this moment, right? And maybe, and like 100% of that is due to the fact that I'm older and I can pay more now that I'm, I didn't pay bills then. I didn't know.
Well, the economy wasn't on fire as much.
It was about to be, but
It was
like
about to be, but it wasn't.
we didn't know that then.
The spark hadn't happened yet.
But like I guess now, and like I think of course I didn't know about Labubu now, but like the whole just like climate that we're in, and since 2002 the like wealth gap has just like increased exponentially, and the idea like whoever loves money never has money enough, whoever loves wealth is never satisfied, and this income is just like so these are like things that maybe it's just like the media that I consume and like what my particular algorithm is like pinpointed toward. Like I've built up my algorithm to be very specific, and it just does not, and like with everyone, one of the issues of the day, right, whether for better or worse, or like whatever your politics are, right, like the radicalization that you'll undergo, like just scrolling on your phone for 10 minutes every morning is just like a punch in the face every single day of like, oh, things are bad. And like,
I understand that you're
You know-
upset over like a good message told badly is
Right.
worse, is almost worse than a bad message.
right. So like, I think watching this right now, like, is so extra upsetting because it's like, I would not show this to a child today to try and like let them understand like why, again, the like climate is so different. So like maybe watching this in 2002 would have felt different. Maybe this would have been more appropriate in 2002. Maybe in 2002 I would have been like, okay, yeah, sure, toys, because that was like kind of the thing.
I will also say people cared way less about what kids watched in the
Right.
early 2000s.
And,
Especially like
like-
direct to DVD stuff just thrown on. People cared almost less than they do now, which is not much.
Right. So like now if like a kid was to watch this, you know, like I would, the fact that again we don't address Larry's wealth in this is just like I can't even think of the word that I'm
it's
like
plot breaking.
yeah, like why are we not talking about this? Like it seems irresponsible. Like it's just like, and again, this I would, if this were coming out today, we were making tweaks to make it today, and they were like, okay, you can't like make too many tweaks because it's not your like property or whatever. But like we have to talk about some other points, and we need to make it a little more coherent. Because like if I showed this to a child today and was trying to explain to them like why the message is about greed, the way that greed happens today is more in our faces and a little more insidious, I think, than it was then. So like again, I think watching this right now kind of like extra spoils it for me.
Well, if we're talking about how young that they're going for,
Right.
greed is only just wanting more toys. Like they don't have
Right.
the concept of money or power really. So it's,
And again, this is like just like with the last episode where it's like, where's Junior Asparagus in this?
Yeah.
Why is he not teaching us this lesson?
it really
Like, why do we have to have, like, I get, even in the 3D Larry Boys, like, the villains are just, like, monsters created by the, like, vegetable characters, right? These are just, like, villains. And that's less villainous.
I'm interested to when this is all said and done. When we go back to Larry Boy for Larry Boy and the Bad Apple,
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how you feel about that one because I feel like it is much better written.
Yeah.
But there is no Junior Asparagus character. There's kind of like one Junior Asparagus split 3 ways or 4 ways.
Right. Well, I'm excited about that one, but again, just like with the last episode, it's like I feel like we've like gone through all of this and we've learned absolutely nothing, and it would have been far more impactful. And I get that they've got like this medium where they can like move away from like the original formula, but like even if they leaned into that formula a little bit more, just like they did with the Angry Eyebrows, where we have the other citizens of Bumbleberg actually helping us through this journey and actually helping us learn this lesson, instead of Larry just like, oh, I'm here to save the day, and then the day gets saved and we've learned nothing. Like, what's the point of even having these other characters who are there to help us move this along as devices so that we can like actually like get to the core of what we're trying to learn?
This one more than even the other two feels like we need to get this to the finish line.
Yeah.
Get this done quickly. They had 3
Yeah.
riders crank something out
Yeah.
to get something on store shelves to finance Jonah, which was a money pit for a big idea.
Yeah. So, all right. Penguins.
Yeah, penguins.
Penguins.
It's a Wile E. Coyote thing with penguins. It goes on a little too long.
It went on a little too long. I thought the gag of him going into the phone booth and realizing it was in private was cute, but
Yeah.
and then
The fat cucumber child crying at the loss of his fish.
like, Larry, you're a billionaire, buy him another fish. I like that this implies that Larry Boy gets straight up murked by a polar bear at the end of
Yeah.
this. Like,
After dealing with penguins that are vegetable sized.
yeah,
Mini penguins.
there's some little penguins. These were not them, but
There's some little polar bears, evidently.
if
I'm
it's
not familiar.
if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay it down. If it's white, good night, because you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you're on the bear side of the internet, but
There was at work. There was a producer that would always put. He was like an executive producer, and whenever he produced a show, he would put a bear story in there.
I love that.
Shout out, Jason.
Thanks for.
We miss you.
I want a bear so bad.
No, you don't. Well, you do. His name's Yvonne. Oh, that's for you.
Thank you.
I'm imagining Werner Herzog listening to this podcast and then turning to the person next to him and saying, "Destroy it. You must never listen to this."
I hope Werner Herzog listens to our podcast about Veggie Tales.
I prefer Bob and Larry. The simplistic shapes of the cucumber and vegetables. The tomato.
He would have something to say about 3D Mickey Mouse.
Well,
Yep.
he is that hero. This is that podcast. We got one more. I think we got a break though.
Yes.
Because of the release schedule. As a treat, this is the one for you, Liz.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, remember,
God made you special, and he loves you very much.
Goodbye.
Bye.